the game, 'cause see the boxing voice.
Welcome back, gang, for the first time and hopefully many more to come. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click on the notifications right here, this little bell, so you can get those emails every time we go live.
Yo, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We have breaking news. I repeat, breaking news. The WBO has ordered Billy Joe Saunders and Demetrius Andrade for a WBO middleweight title of the world. And it's kind of odd because we all thought Billy Joe was going to be suspended for 6 months. We thought he maybe has to take a fight in between to get that mandatory position, but no, the WBO has come out today. Well, yes, today, and said that the middleweight title will be contested for between Andrade and Billy Joe Saunders. I have my main man here, Mario. What's going on, Mario? What was your first thoughts on this topic when it came up?
What up? What up? I was extremely excited. As you know, when Billy Joe Saunders popped, it was him and Andrade that they were trying to make, and it was ahead of that fight. And I was so excited for that fight. I felt like there was that style clash between the two. I think it makes for such an intriguing fight because I think we get the best of both worlds out of these guys. I think, number one, they're fantastic fighters through and through. I think what each does best, the other is prone to, I wouldn't say weaknesses, but definitely accommodating those. So I think we would have a boxing match that would break out at times into a fist fight. And I might be overplaying it a bit, but either way, it's a stylistic clash at this division that Andrade absolutely deserves a fight of this magnitude. And Billy Joe Saunders, you know, because look, he had a year off. That was the case. You know, basically he fought David Lemieux in December of 2017, and then his comeback fight against Charles Adamu in December of 2018, which you know is on the Frampton Warrington card, undercard. You know, they promoted that as his big comeback fight. It wasn't supposed to be anything, you know, like a huge test. But out of this, we know that the WBO, which, as you said, suspended Saunders for 6 months, but they said that they are satisfied with what he's complied with fully.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and read that whole statement by the WBO, because I know people are out there like, I thought he was suspended. I thought he did a banned substance, but let me read what the WBO Championship Committee put out on Tuesday. Based on the evidence ratifying complete fulfillment of all imposed conditions on behalf of Mr. Saunders presented before this committee and pursuant to Section 1, subsection of the WBO regulations of the World Championship contest, we hereby terminate immediately his suspension from any WBO sanctioned contest. Consequently, we recommend the WBO World Ratings Committee officially reinstate Mr. Saunders within the WBO middleweight division, ratings and position as the #1 contender accordingly. Furthermore, it is the WBO Ratings Committee adopts the committee's recommendation. We hereby designate Mr. Saunders as the official mandatory of the aforementioned division pursuant to Section 1, subsection B23 of the reference regulations. Damn,
it's a tongue twister for sure.
Some shit right there. So basically what they're saying is they have the right to ask for the fight and the right to lay it down when so it can happen. So they are they're judge and juror. So with that being said, I mean, if they did their due diligence and didn't find anything wrong, and like I've been stating, we need to have universal drug laws around the whole sport. It shouldn't be good in the UK, but not be good in America. It shouldn't be good for VADA and not be good for the UK UCAD. So I think everything should be under one umbrella, and we won't get these kind of situations where somebody's saying he's cheating and the other guy's saying he's not. But it's a damn sure fight that I want to see.
Very well said. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, what's good for the, I was about to quote that old saying, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, whatever, however that goes. Regardless, you're absolutely right. And this is a fight that's just good for boxing. You know, a lot of times we talk about the heavyweight division and what fights aren't happening. You know, we need to talk about the middleweight division, because while there are two players in Golovkin and Canelo that constantly steal the limelight, there's so many guys like Andrade and Billy Joe, who definitely made a name for himself over the past few years, that get left out in the cold with a lot of these fights. You know, we talk about Charlo and him making his way up the ranks or whatever, and him getting his shot with Canelo. You know, this is the type of fight that is like an eliminator for the middleweight division, and not necessarily like with a title involved or anything like that, but just who's the best out there. You know, who is that guy? And this is the kind of fight that can prove it. It's being ordered. WBO's making their way to do it. Will Billy Joe take it at this point, I think, is the question, because there are a lot of pros and cons for him. I think he does. He's the kind of fighter that does not back down. He's the kind of fighter that will go and take those tests. And Andrade, absolutely, I think, will jump at the chance.
Yeah, I think if we learn anything from Tyson Fury, I think Billy Joe is like kind of in that same makeup. These guys take on challenges, even when some guys don't think that they will, and they go out and they prove that they rise for the occasion. One thing that I do want to bring up is it's a mandatory, so that tells me that this fight can possibly go to purse bid. Now, last time we remember that this fight did not end up going to purse bid because I believe Eddie Hearn made Billy Joe a nice enough offer not for it to go to purse bid. So I'm going to be excited to see if Frank Warren does that again with Eddie, or does this fight end up going to purse bid and the biggest bank will win. In my opinion, will probably be the zone with Eddie Hearn, but will it be kind of the same agreement that they had before, or has Billy cost himself some money?
That's a man. Oh, that's a hot take,
Well,
bro. That is the definition of a hot take.
Yeah, he definitely because it's stupid. He definitely causes himself some money because he was the champion. Now he's the challenger.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Perfectly said. Yeah. He absolutely put himself in a more, less than valuable situation in this instance. He went from being the champion, and so if it does go to purse bid, we know where that money is going to lie. You know, he was the champion. He would have been in a favorable position money wise, and now it's going to go to Andrade. But you know, at the end of the day, look, he's going to pay his dues in more ways than one. He's already paid his dues as far as the WBO concerned, but as far as boxing is concerned, now this is kind of his opportunity to kind of right that wrong and fight his way back into the limelight. And I couldn't think of a stiffer test than Andrade. You know what I mean? Because if you were to like land a Canelo fight or even a Golovkin fight, I think he'd be rewarded for, you know, basically failing the drug test. In this instance, it's like they're not pointing any fingers, as you said, you know, guilty until or innocent until proven guilty type of stuff, right? But now we're in a situation where he's got a very stiff test against a very, you know, credible opponent. So for him to come out of this on top, he absolutely should be thrown back in there with the mix with Golovkin and Canelo and all those guys, right? But for Andrade to stop somebody like Billy Joe, you know, it would definitely be the knock on his career or the highlight of his career, and the one that boosts him into those talks, because, you know, he's been mentioned with Canelo vaguely over the past month, but we all knew that it wasn't very serious. Now this is his opportunity. He's on DAZN. And here's the thing. You were saying the purse bid, where does it land? I think it has to land on DAZN. DAZN might as well change its name to the middleweight division. They got all the middleweights. This is where it should land. We'll see this one. We'll see Canelo and we'll see Canelo and Jacobs, and probably Triple G at some point. So yeah, absolutely. I hope it does land on DAZN.
Absolutely, man. You guys can follow me on IG at Gross1911 or on Twitter at Gross2312. Mario?
You can follow me at Mario Munguia on Twitter, at Mario Munguia on Instagram.
Until next time.
Peace.
What is up, TBV family? Yes, YouTube has been cutting funding to their channels as of late, and with net neutrality going through its process, the internet is changing. If you want to keep your favorite channel intact, coming up with tons of content, and plus get hours and hours of extra content, head over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice to become a member of the TBV family and help support the channel. Peace.